Hey boos, welcome back to my channel. So today I really wanted to sit here on camera and talk to you guys, and reason being is the other day I went through my stats here on YouTube to kind of have an idea of the age group of people who actually watches my video. And surprisingly, I have a lot of young ladies, like young teenagers that actually watches my video from the ages of 15 all the way to 35. And that is one of the reasons why I really want to open up and do this video for my younger viewers. I have a sister who's also 13 years old, so when I saw that I was like, wait a minute, these are my sisters, these are like my little sisters here. So I really wanted to kind of open up and do this video. This video that I am doing is something that has always been in my heart, but I've always been really hesitant. And you know, I spoke to my friend about this and she said, you know what, I really think you should do this video because it will help somebody out there. You know, it's like your life experience that you're putting out there, and also an advice for the younger ladies who actually watches my channel. So at the age of 16, I started dating this guy. I'm from Ghana, he was Jamaican, and at the time he was a year older than me. I believe he was 17 and I was 16. I met him through a mutual friend, and I met him at my church. I think his aunt was invited over to my church, brought him along, and that's how we met. So we started talking. This was my first boyfriend, and I think I was in love because, I mean, the things that I went through, I believe it was love. Now that I'm looking back, like, it was puppy love, honey. So I love this guy. Like, we dated for about 2.5 years, and then he broke up with me. Now, how he broke up with me is how all this comes to part. So we dated for about 2.5 years. He lived out in the east and I lived in the west. So I only saw him like once or twice a week, sometimes like 3 weeks I wouldn't see him. And I would always be the person traveling down there to go see him. So around the time when we're about to basically break up, this guy would stop calling me. And like I said, this was my first boyfriend, so I didn't really read along the lines. I didn't understand, you know, what people did when they're breaking up. I never even thought that we were ever, you know, like when you're in a relationship when you're younger, I mean now, like, you know, like when you're in a relationship, you're not thinking of the negative part of a relationship. All you're thinking about is just me and this person forever. Like, oh my god, we're gonna date forever. Like, I think that's just the mentality that I had. So this came to me as a surprise. To me, I thought everything was great. We were boyfriend and girlfriend. We went to the movies, we went to the zoo, we did everything together, like what boyfriends and girlfriends are supposed to do. I would always be the one traveling down to the east, which is about like an hour and 20 minutes from where I lived in the west to the east. And I would always go visit him, and we would always kind of go to the movies, hang out and whatever. So around the time when he broke up, actually how he broke up with me was even like, it's over. It was like, he cheated on me, okay? This guy, I remember around the time we're about to break up, he would not pick up my calls. Whenever I called, his friend would always pick up and say, oh, he's not here, but I would hear him in the background. And me being the dumb person that I was, honey, when you're young, you are so dumb. Like, oh, me being the dumb person would still call, even though they would always tell me he's not there. I would hear him in the background. So one morning, I decided that I was going to just take the bus there because I knew what time he would be home in the morning when my ass should be in school. I should have been in school. My parents thought I was in school, but I was basically just taking a bus down to the east to go see this man. So I went down to the east. I knew his mom, I knew his brothers. Like, we dated for a while, so I kind of knew his family. I knew his parents. So, and me being African is a little different. You cannot bring a guy home to your mom, especially at my age, be like, mom, this is my boyfriend. I was 17 years old. So I knew his parents, but he didn't really know anything about my parents because this was like a hidden secret for me. And I went over to his house and I knocked the door, and he came downstairs and he's like, oh, what are you doing here? And I'm like, listen, I've been trying to get a hold of you for the past 2 weeks. You're not calling me. When I call you, your friends are picking up and saying you're not there, but I hear you in the background. And he convinced me that nothing was wrong, everything was okay. He's just been really busy. And you know, girls were very gullible. I'm saying we're gullible because at that age, I was very gullible. At this age right now, no man can play me for a fool. I call you once or twice, you don't pick up, honey, I'm not bothered. Like, you know, I'm cutting loose. Like, I know my worth. So at the time, it's like, okay, I forgive you. So he convinced me. He didn't even let me in the house. He convinced me, let's go to the McDonald's and talk, which never really clicked in my head. I was like, okay, let's go. So we went to the McDonald's, and while in the McDonald's, he went over to the payphone and he was making calls asking someone if they wanted something to eat. Even that I never caught on. I was still so naive, so in love with this man. I believe this guy can tell me the sky is black and I will believe the sky is black even though I'm seeing blue skies. Okay, that's how in love and dumb and naive I was at that time in my life. So he convinced me everything was fine, and then I went home. Called him, same routine. He wasn't picking up, nothing at all. So one day, I think I called his cell phone and a girl picked up and was like, oh my god, I almost said his name. We're just gonna call him Jason. This girl picked up and said, oh, I'm Jason's girlfriend. Why are you calling him? And I just broke down in tears. I cried and I cried and I cried. And I cried. And then I started thinking that, you know, the thing about the mistakes that girls make is that we always take our anger on the female rather than the man. Now, every situation is different. If there's a girl and she knows, like, there's a friend who tried to be with your man, that's a different story. But we always tend to take our anger on other females when it's really the man. So this girl called me and told me that why am I calling her man's phone and blah, blah, blah. And all that. Even that wasn't even a breaking point for me. I still didn't believe it. I still believed this man. This man was still telling me the sky was black, and I was believing the sky was black. That's how dumb and naive I was. So I remember one time he wanted to meet up, and he actually met up with me, and he told me that, you know, it wasn't me, it was him, and that he thinks that we should be friends, and that things were not going well right now. He wanted to just focus on his life and blah, 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 blah. And me being so dumb, I'm like, no, we have to be together. How can you do this? We have to be together. Like, I was forcing myself on this man. Like, no did not mean no to me. No was a yes. Now that I'm thinking about it, it really, like, when I tell you, it pisses me off because it's like I let this guy play me like a fool. I've been walked all over and I still didn't take no for an answer. So I became very depressed. When I say very depressed, this was around the time that I think I was getting ready to graduate from high school. I had like maybe 2 or 3 months before I graduated from high school. I became very, very, very depressed through this breakup because, like I said, it was my first boyfriend. I've never had a man before. I felt like, oh, you know, I felt really loved and just, as dumb as it sounded, like really completed. Like this man completed me because I was so young and dumb and naive that when he broke up with me, I felt like a part of me was missing. Like a part of me just walked away and I couldn't function. I couldn't do anything. Now keep in mind, I did everything with this guy. We did everything together. So he was like a part of me. So now that he didn't want to be with me, my mind wouldn't process the fact that I'm no longer going to have this person in my life. So I became very, very depressed. When I say very depressed, and this is the time that my mom actually found out what was going on with me, because I became very depressed that when I was sleeping, I would just sleep throughout the day. And then I even dropped out of high school, guys, like to the point where I dropped out of high school. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to be around anybody. I didn't want to eat. I was having a lot of suicidal thoughts, like hurting myself. Like it was really bad. And a lot of people who I hung around with at the time who was close to me knew the situation. So because of this man, I was not able to graduate high school the year that I was supposed to, because I abandoned school. When my mom thought I was leaving for school, I would literally just go sit somewhere and just cry my eyes out, to the point where I was becoming very, very, very suicidal, if that's the right word to say. I was having a lot of suicidal thoughts. I was having a lot of things like, go, you know, do this to yourself, do that, do this, and it became very scary to me. So one time I went to my guidance counselor and I told them that, you know, this is what's happening to me. And they explained, like, my guidance counselor at the time, he laughed and he's like, oh, this is called heartbreak. He didn't realize how serious this was and what I was really, you know, feeling, because I've never been heartbroken before. I've never had a guy dump me. I've never had any of this. This was all new to me. So he told me it's called heartbreak and it's very normal. And I'm like, this cannot be normal, because I felt like I was gonna die. Like, I was so broken. Like, I dropped out of high school, guys. I could not finish high school at the year that I was supposed to. And another stupid thing that I did during my depression stage, before I get to that, so I was put on, my guidance counselor advised that I seek I seek a medical attention, and he recommended I see my doctor. I told him I didn't want him telling anybody this because I was afraid that people were gonna make fun of me. They wouldn't understand, would think I was stupid, and he understood that. So I went to go saw my doctor. I was put on antidepressant, which I feel didn't really do nothing for me, guys. I felt like it made things even worse. It made me want to harm myself even more. And then I decided to tell my mom what I was feeling because I was so scared that I felt like, oh my God, I was gonna die. That wasn't bad enough, honey. Instead of me basically recovering, I decided that, you know what, I still wanted to be around this guy. I loved him and I would forgive him and we can work things out, and I was gonna beg him so that we can work things out. Honey, ladies, for my younger ladies, let me tell you guys, you are valuable, honey. Let no man, absolutely no guy, define who you are. You are beautiful. You are loved. Let no one tell you otherwise, okay? So if that wasn't bad enough, I decided that I was gonna start my high school, my little course. I think I had two or three more courses to graduate. So I decided that I was gonna go to the same high school that this man was going to. My little secret I never told anybody was that nobody knew at the time. My parents didn't know why I wanted to go to that school. I just told them that I wanted to go to that school down in the east because I wanted to focus. I wanted to get away from everybody. My parents not knowing that the reason I wanted to attend that high school because this guy was in the same high school that I wanted to go to, so I can be around him, I can see him, and just feel better. So that's the biggest mistake I ever did in my life because it did not help me. It made my situation even worse. It made me much more depressed. So I went ahead and I registered at that high school and the following year, and that's when I discovered that this man actually broke up with me because he left me for another girl. Now I say he left me for a white girl. At the time I thought she was white, but she's not white. She was Lebanese. I think it was a Lebanese girl that he left me for, and the girl went to the same high school as him. So the girl attended the same high school. That's when I found out everything later. So my anger became so high to the point where I was no longer going to the school to learn. I was literally going to the school to make trouble every single time. So something about every time I saw them together, my heart and my blood just went up the roof to the point where I was harassing this girl. Like, I'm even surprised that I did not catch like a police case. I was harassing this girl. I would stalk her. Like when she was going home from the train station, I would literally stalk this girl. Like I would follow her. I would kick her down the stairs. Just so much things. But I would never take my anger on this man because to me he had done nothing wrong. It was all her fault. She was the reason for my pain. If anybody would have told me that I would have ever recovered from what I was going through, I would have called them a liar. I thought my life was over. I thought that I was never going to recover. The antidepressant medication they had made my situation worse. I was thinking more, like I had more suicidal thoughts and just doing things that was not me. I felt like I was someone else. And you know, as the years went by, I started to recover. So it was a really long process. I think it took about 8 months before I came back to my normal senses. The smartest thing I did is that I invited my friends to also join me in that high school. So I had 3 other girls who I was friends with at the time who I told them that, you know, it would be nice for us to kind of go to school. I think that helped me a lot because I wasn't just there by myself, but as they joined the program that I was going to, it was kind of like a program where if you're behind in courses, you just kind of take it to just hurry up and graduate so you can go to university or college. So because I had only 3 classes, I didn't want to go back to like a whole semester of school. So I kind of just fast tracked to that school so I can get it done. I had other friends who was also going through the same things in terms of their grades, so they joined me, and I think that really helped me because it kind of helped me just kind of be with my friends. I wasn't by myself. I wasn't as depressed as I was when they joined the school, but I was still trying to fight this girl. I was just always reaching out, trying to hurt this girl. I would see her and I would brush her. I would see them together and I would walk right in between them and push her aside. And of course he wasn't doing anything about it because at the time he knew where my mind was, that I was pissed and I was crazy. And I wish I would have taken my anger on this man. You know, God willingly, I graduated from this program. And I went off to college and never went back to the school. When I tell you, honey, that I was so happy when I heard that she left his ass. And the funny thing now, This guy just thought he can just come back into my old life, and stupid old me would have jumped on the bandwagon and took off, and we would have been a couple again. No, honey. So at that time, I was very happy that I recovered. I wasn't thinking about no suicidal thoughts. I was okay. I was in college, you know, studying, and got my mind right. At the time, I had no man. Guys were not in my mind at the time. I honestly feel that everything in life is for a reason, because I feel like if I wouldn't have never gone through what I went through with this loser who tried to kill me, I would have never known how to handle any relationship that I gotten into. Because I feel like when I got into this relationship with this man, he was my first boyfriend. I didn't really know anything. I assumed that when you're together forever. And I feel that it kind of molded me into the person that I am today. I know how to handle certain situation. I know how to kind of manage relationship, how to give yourself when you are in a relationship. You don't go 100%. Now, I'm not saying that right now I'm not in love and I'm giving my 100%, but I do know how to handle certain situations. You know what I mean? So if things are to happen, I know how to handle it. I'm not gonna go jump off a roof or want to kill myself because a relationship didn't work out. And this is where I come to my younger ladies. No matter what you are going through with anybody, a guy, a friend, whatever, whomever you are dating, let me tell you, if a guy leaves you, if a guy breaks you, never ever feel that you're the problem. Because there was a point in my life that I felt I was the problem. I started thinking, what if I did this differently? What if I had done this differently? What if I would have... There's a point where, what if I started buying him things? Maybe he would have never left me. There's so much things that I started thinking like, oh my God, I'm the problem. I should have like bought him this. I should have treated... No, honey, you are not the problem. Let anybody tell you, let no guy belittle you. You are a queen, you are beautiful. And if you're with a man and the man does not realize what they have, does not value you, honey, you can walk away, put your head up high and say goodbye. You lost the best thing that ever happened to you. Because, honey, let me tell you where it gets even more juicier. Years go by and I didn't even realize I had this man on my Facebook. Years go by, maybe like 3-4 years ago. Tell me why one day I'm on Facebook and this guy comes up with this long essay. When I tell you essay, this guy wrote a 5-page essay as if his life depended on it, explaining and apologizing and really realizing what he had at the time and that he wished he would have turned things around. And girl, I read this essay and I wrote, laugh out loud, and said, thank you very much and have a great life. And now that I'm looking back at it now, girls, we do the most darnest things when we are young. When we think we're in love, we do the most darnest thing. We put up with so much. We let men walk all over us. We just belittle ourselves for these dudes that don't give a shit about us. Honey, like, let me tell you, we are queens. We have to know our value. We have to know who really wants us for us. If a guy doesn't appreciate you, if a guy doesn't see your value, honey, walk away. It's going to be difficult. You might be with a man for 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, honey. If this guy is with you and does not value you, honey, walk away. Because there are so many men out there who are looking for women like you. A lot of guys kind of take a lot of good women for granted because they feel like, oh, she loves me and she'll do anything for me, and no matter what I do to her, you know, no matter what I do to her, she's always going to be around. I think that's exactly what this man was thinking. So when I got the courage to really say, F this, I'm not going to deal with this anymore, and that's it, I'm going to concentrate on school. And that is the best thing that I've ever done for myself, putting all my energy into school. Honey, I put all my energy into school. When you're also in a relationship and things are not going well, don't ever feel that you need to prove yourself to people, that when you're not happy in a relationship, you just want to stick by because you're afraid of what people are going to say. That's another mistake that us women, we make. And I want to let you know that, honey, no matter what you're going through, who cares what people think about you? Because at the end of the day, it's your happiness that matter. If you're not happy in a relationship and you want to get out of that relationship, but you're worried that, oh my God, what are people going to say? You know, do not make that mistake, because you're only going to make the situation worse. It's going to build up in you and you're just going to be self-destructing yourself. So I'm telling you, if you are in a relationship that you are not happy in, the man is taking you for granted, the guy is not seeing your value, honey, you are a queen, honey. You are a queen, honey, my sister. You are a queen. Oh, walk away from that relationship, okay? Now, I'm not saying that little things like, oh, my bae doesn't buy me food, my bae doesn't do little things, my bae doesn't clean up the house, but I'm not not saying leave your man because your man is not cleaning up the house, honey. But I'm talking about if you're in a happy, if you're in a violent relationship, you know, if your husband or your man is doing things that you're afraid of what people are gonna say. And I have been in a situation where I stood in a relationship because I was afraid of what people are going to say. I stuck in a relationship that I knew I wasn't happy in, but I stuck in because I was worried what people are going to say. People are going to laugh at me. Oh my God, what are people going to talk about? Like, I was just so concerned about what people were going to say about my breakup that I lost myself in staying in this relationship that was draining my soul, that was killing me. Like, honey, this is my message to my younger ladies. I know a lot of you older people have had heartbreaks like this. Heartbreak is something not to play with. Like the other day I was watching Trisha, some girl named Trisha, she's another YouTuber on here, and she lived a very promiscuous life. I think she was like a pornography, and I think she did like adult movie. So she has that history of having like adult movies and whatnot, and she had written a book. She's also a YouTuber here, and the other day she made a video of her like just putting herself out there, saying how her and her boyfriend broke up and how she never felt loved the way that she's been loved, and how she loved this guy so much but she didn't feel that he loved her the same way. And she was literally just sitting on her kitchen floor, just crying on camera, pouring her heart out. And in the comment section, now mind you, I've never watched her video before. I just came across that video because someone made a video advice for her, and that I follow here on YouTube, and I decided to just go check it out. And I was reading the comment section of this video, and a lot of people were so nasty to her, saying that, you know, you're an attention seeker. She was basically just saying how her heart really hurts and she feels like she's gonna die, and how she loved this guy so much. Now, she is a little older. She's not younger or anything. She probably looks like she's in her mid-30s or not. I could be wrong. Like I said, I've never watched her video, so I don't know. But she was literally pouring her heart out, saying how she's so devastated, how, you know, they broke up and then the guy wanted to be friends, but she found out that she loves him way more than he did, and she doesn't think that she can continue being friends with him because I guess, you know, they were still doing things that it was not helping them just being friends, because she had this love for this man. And she was just sitting on camera crying and just kind of explaining to people, you know, why she's so hurt and why she can never be friends with them. And in the comment section, people are being so heartless and so mean and telling her she's an attention seeker and she's this and she's that, and, you know, all this things about this girl. And as soon as she started talking about her heartbreak and seeing how her heart feels like it's ripping off her chest, she cannot sleep, she cannot eat, it got me thinking of my experience when I had this heartbreak with this man, where I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything. I dropped out of high school because I just couldn't concentrate in school. I'll be in class and I'll be crying because heartbreak is real. Heartbreak is very real. And unless you've experienced it, you cannot understand what people go through. Now, in terms of Trisha's video, you know, I don't really know if she's really doing this for attention, but I just feel like I couldn't sit on camera and just cry the way that, you know, she did. But, you know, even so, the comment section is really, really, really rude, you know, and I don't think it's going to help her anyway in how she's recovering or how she's going to get over this situation, because what people are writing, like, it's just too much. You know, for my younger viewers out there, you know, just my advice to you, if you're in any sort of relationship and the guy decides that you haven't done anything to this man and he feels that your relationship is no longer working, you know, don't think that is the end of the world, honey, because 10-11 years ago, if you would have told me that I'll be sitting here happy, excited to even be talking about this experience of mine, I would have said, honey, you were a liar, because I thought my life was over. My whole world has crumbled over, and that was it. I just thought that my life was over. Like the way that I was feeling at the time, and the depression stage that I was, being on antidepressant medication, and just dropping out of high school because of a guy. Like, now when I think about it, it's like the most dumbest thing that I've ever done in my life. But I'm very grateful and thankful that I was able to kind of get back to focus and, you know, continue my education and just do better for myself. And the thing about it is that this guy didn't do anything with his life. Like, he is a loser. This guy's a loser. This guy, and I'm not just saying this because I have any heart, you know, any hurt or any hate for this man. This man is a loser. He's all about just selling weed and just, you know, hanging out with his friends and just doing useless nonsense, thugging type thugging shit that, younger guys do. And I'm looking back at it now, like, if I was still with this man, like, I probably would have had like 20, 50 kids by now, where I'm like a single mother taking care of my kids by myself and just being the stereotypical thing that people assume that all black people are, you know? So sometimes things in life happen for a reason. Maybe God is just trying to get you away from a situation that could have been worse. So for my younger ladies, you know, if you're with a man and he leaves you and you know deep down you've done everything you've done, and maybe God is just doing this to kind of, you know, separate you from a bad situation or something that might be coming. He's opening up a door for you to step into a blessing. He's doing that because I feel like if I was still with this man, the lifestyle that he lived, I would have probably not ended up how I am today. I feel like I was so deeply in love with this man that if this guy would tell me to jump, and I would jump. He would tell me the sky is black, and I'll think the sky is black, even though I know that the sky is blue. So maybe I would have ended up with the same lifestyle that he was in, like where he's smoking weed and just doing a lot of like things that it's not right, things that you shouldn't be doing, you know? So if you can take away anything from this video, I just want you to always remember, no matter what situation you're in, no matter what you're going through, no matter heartbreaks, anything, just anything in life in general, friendship, relationship, family issues, anything, everything in life happens for a reason, and that God does things in our life. Because look at me now, I'm sitting here 11, 10 years later, I'm looking back at this and I can actually come on my YouTube, feel very comfortable, feel no way, and be proud to actually share this experience with someone which I know is going to help somebody out there. If you're not following me on Snapchat, be sure to follow me, as I'm very active. I've really gotten to love Snapchat. I don't know, before I was very hesitant to kind of get an account there, but I really like it. It's really cute. It's like sharing your little life, little clips of your life every day. So yeah, follow me on Snapchat. And for my younger ladies, you know, feel very comfortable. I am your big sister. I have a sister who's 13, and you know, I'm like your big sister that you never had. So if you feel very comfortable and you need someone to talk to, I am here for you, honey. You can email me, you can send me direct messages on Instagram, Snapchat. I like Snapchat because I feel like I can communicate more with you guys. So, you know, just talk to me. And if there's anything you're going through that you want advice on, feel comfortable, honey, because I've been through a lot with men, just life in general. And when I tell you, honey, believe when I tell you, look back at a situation that you're going through and you'll just be like, wow, I'm like, wow, this is me. God has a purpose for everything. So I love you guys, and I will catch y'all later.